Greetings, Inquisitors. Welcome to the Holocron. This is the week 156 update for the Darth Loquitur account. That makes 3 years of Darth Loquitur for 156 weeks. So we're going to go through the account's progress this week, and then we're going to talk about a little bit of review of the whole last 3 years that we've been playing. All right, for this week, let's get in here and see what happened in the account. First things first, we got BB8. We got to get to relic. Bought that light speed bundle for Rey. Need to get this character to relic 7 to unlock the Rey journey. Still need to get the Raddus ship fully to 5 stars. That should be possible in the next event, next time Raddus event comes around. Bronzium wiring, we're going to make 116 of these. We did buy a bunch of them out of Conquest, so we had a decent amount of bronzium wiring. Also going to make some rhodium heat sinks here and convert those. And we'll go ahead and upgrade this to Relic 7. That'll get us completed on the Rey journey. Everything except that Raddus ship is now done, ready to go. So just going into the journey to check. All the check marks are checked off. Raddus to 5 stars, and we're good. All right. Also going to work toward Princess Leia still. That is the plan. So here, Scout Trooper, we're going to get started. Do some upgrades on him. We're going to take a look at HK first. I feel like it's about time to do the Darth Revan journey. We've got these characters built up enough that it shouldn't be a problem. With the Lightspeed bundle, we also did get Carthanasi to Relic 5, so that's quite a big boost to that team. Here we go with the Scout Trooper. We're upgrading. We've got Cairo set here, and then this next level we have 2 Cairo sets, so we're going to go ahead and get those locked in. Get the skills built up on this character, and get him ready, positioned for later. Also going to work on some mods for him as we go through our modding stuff. Only got 6 mods this week with the event going on that's dropping stuff off the mod challenges nodes. We've gone back to farming those. So we did farm some mods, but not a whole lot. Switched over to slicing materials again, of course, for the event. Working on some of these gray mods. Here we get a hit to 10 speed. It goes up to 16 speed. We're going to keep working at it to get another 5 speed hit, 21 speed, 22 at 6 dots. And then we try again and again and again and one last time, and all of the 6 dot slices fail to hit speed. We'll do a calibration on the mod real quick, and there we go. We get the 5th hit on speed for another 27 speed mod. Nice. Add that to the account. These last 2 gray mods, see if we can get another big hit like that. We miss here on the 9 speed mod. Here we miss right away going to green. Working on the blues and greens. We got a 14 speed mod here. We can go ahead and try this. Take it up to gold. Still at 14 speed. We're not going to 6 dot and slice that one quite yet. Take a look at any other mods that we might have here that are good. We got a circle with 9 speed. It's okay. We miss on the hit there, and that's going to wrap it up for the blues and greens. Work on the purple and gold stuff. Here we got a 22 speed mod, just a 5 rolls on a gold mod. That's pretty crazy. I was thinking about keeping it as a 5 dot mod because occasionally I do want 5 dot mods for characters, but I went ahead and popped it up to 6 dots to improve the main stat on it. Here we've got a 20 speed mod. We're going to go ahead and hit it a couple times, try it again, and we don't get the last slice because we're out of materials, but we can certainly go back and look at that later. Pretty good week for mods, some pretty good speed hits there. We'll work on Scout Trooper here, and 262 speed, some health, some protection. It's okay. just get him started. Rose Tico, we got her out of the light speed stuff. Need to put some mods on her. We'll just go with defensive stuff, 241 speed, 56% armor. It's all right. I was looking at this and I realized that when I was just throwing complete garbage mods on these characters, these are all the leftovers that didn't work out that I was slicing that I didn't sell. These are still some pretty good mods. You know, getting 250 speed off of mods that are, you know, considered leftovers, right? So pretty good, pretty decent mods for these characters just to get them started out. T3M4, get some mods on him as well. Again, another character that came from those light speed bundles. So we'll just put a mix of mods over here. And 224 speed, no speed set. Amblin Holdo, put some defensive mods on her, some health and defense sets. And we'll lock that in as well. So we get these characters modded up, at least to get them started. Poe Dameron. I don't know if I'm going to use Poe anywhere. He's not really in one of my offensive teams that I have set up. So he's kind of a floating character, but we'll go ahead and put mods on him just in case we might use him somewhere. Young Lando, YOLO. Again, from the packs, might as well put some kind of mods on him. So we throw some leftover mods there. And that's going to wrap it up for the modding. Over here in fleets, we do have this Star Fighter that we can, Star Fortress that we can build up. Again, this is one of those things that I farmed. Didn't really need it, but went ahead and farmed it. So we're going to build this up, and we've got the characters, of course, at Relic from the Lightspeed bundles. We can put that fleet on defense once we get the Radish capital ship up and running to a decent level, and you know, make use of it. Just throw it in defense on GAC so I can keep more good teams on offense. That's what I'm thinking at the moment, anyhow. Datacrons, this one gets health and health steal. It gets a dark side ability for buffs. We get defense, and then we roll for Imperial Trooper on level 6. So I go back and I look at that and I decide, you know, maybe there's something I'd rather have, so I re-roll it. And here we get something that converts offense to, or defense to offense. And so 400% of their current defense. Well, on a Datacron that's already got a bunch of defensive rolls on it, that seemed pretty good. So we're going to take this one all the way up to the top, see what we get. We don't have a high relic stormtrooper, but that's what we got for the 9th level. So maybe if you want to play around, change around that Datacron later, we can. But converting those defensive stats into offense is pretty interesting for troopers. All right, here we go with some defense, some protection. Light side gains tenacity up, and then we're out of materials. So not a whole lot of stuff on Datacrons, but we did get a few things in there. Then, like I said, it's time to go into the Darth Revan journey. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And these battles are not too bad. I was able to build the characters up, so I wasn't trying to do it with minimum gear levels like I have in the past. And it's, you know, this battle with Calo Nord was very frustrating on my main account when I did it. But I got through this and the spirit battle there very easily. And then, especially with the Relic 5 on Karth, it made a pretty big difference. He was doing a lot of damage, so got us through these quite easily. And here we go, killing Bast Lashan, victory. And then the last battle, light side against dark side here. And we're going to be able to clean this up without too much problem. And that's it. So, get to take a look at Malik there for a second. And then just unlock Darth Revan. Take him up to level 85, put some skills, put some gear, and then we'll put some mods on him. All right, gear him up. No Zetas. We have to save Zetas for the Galactic Legends we got coming up. We'll be Zeta poor for a long time after those light speed bundles. So for Revan, I want some kind of speed set. And again, it's just leftover, like kind of garbage speed stuff that we've got. We just get him started. That's going to wrap up the progress for the account for the week. So let's take a look. Let's take a stroll down memory lane. Let's start out with the account as it stands today. Week 156, 8.02 million galactic power. We added 60,000 from last week. 122 relics, 103 Zetas, 12 Omicrons, JMK, somewhere in the top 20 in Squad Arena. And Fleet Arena is still getting top 5 most days. Every now and then there's just all Leviathans up there, and I don't have a good fleet to beat Leviathans yet. So I occasionally get squeezed out, but I'm still able to battle my way up if there's an Executor anywhere in the top 5. Project for next week, JML, we should be able to get him unlocked and relicked. Bronzium tracking, we got 186, used 220, have 91 remaining. We created 116, we got 60 from Conquest and 10 from events. Next week's plan, we're farming Rex, Nisa, Sabine, Zori, and the B-28 Extinction Bomber. In Fleet, we've got the Scout and Marin. In Cantina, we're farming Signal Data. And we got to get working on Hondo. He's the last thing we need for the Afra journey. If we get him to 7 stars, we can relic him and Sonastaros and get that Afra into the account. And mods, I'm planning to do 4 days a week on slicing, 3 days on mods. Refresh strategy is to get 3 on everything. And then the plan is the same. We're working on JML, and then we're going to work on, SLKR and Ray as we go forward. All right, if we compare that to the account status at 2.5 years, so 6 months ago, we had 6.11 million galactic power. Now we're at 8.02. The relics went from 70 to 122. Now, that said, 31 of those we relicked, and 21 of them we got with Lightspeed bundles, so it's kind of a misleading relic count. But we really took a huge jump in the number of relics. With the new raid economy, that also made things go a lot faster, so we relicked about twice as many as we have in previous 6-month cycles, so that's pretty good. Zetas, we went from 88 to 103. We added 25 Zetas. GAC, we're still in Kyber 4. So if you look back a year ago at the farming plan, I was working on Radis, Scion, Fennec, Wicket. Fleet, we had the Outrider, Raven's Claw. So I was working on all the profundity stuff. And interesting just to see where the account was back then. If we go all the way back to the beginning, I started the game, my first account, I started around Thanksgiving in 2019. And about a year later, I started this alt account, the Darth Loquitur account. And at the time, I thought to myself, what would I do differently? And back then, galactic power mattered for GAC. And I had, let's say, inflated my galactic power with stuff that I didn't need on my main account. So the original intent with the Darth Loquitur project was to, build a super efficient account, manage the galactic power, and try to do as well as we could in Grand Arena. All that changed, of course, when they took away the GP requirements. Grand Arena changed, and that kind of all went out the window. But that was the original intent, and I did want it to be focused on the whole game, not just Grand Arena. And then, of course, low expectations on Squad Arena. Ignore that and work on Fleet Arena. So I just started the account, and then CG announced that they were going to be doubling the shard drops, and that's when I started putting videos up on YouTube. I was just going to document building the account because I thought maybe someday people might want to, somebody would see me playing GAC and say, oh, how did you build this account, or what was your idea, or whatever. And I could just have a series of videos that they could watch. So it was an interesting thing that it took off right away. People wanted to see it right away. So that's pretty cool. So here's the original plan. We were planning to make efficient use of energy gems and special currencies, optimized for Fleet Arena. And again, even back then, it was all about buying the Zeta materials as well as getting those crystals out of fleet. Minimize galactic power by building fewer characters and maximize the GAC potential with solo characters, building characters that could win on their own, and then build towards some of the early legendaries. My very first teams that I was building in the plan, and again, this account went 1 to 85 the old way. No hyperdrive bundle, anything like that, so we built it 1 to 85. So we started out with a Sith team, and I had interesting experience with Kylo Ren being nearly a timeout character on his own, and the combination of him with Sith Trooper was quite interesting. Back in the day, you could just put that on defense, and everybody would come in and, they'd have to hit Kylo Ren unmasked, and every time they did, the Sith Trooper would counterattack, the Sith Trooper would get an assist, and it seemed to stop a lot of people back then. So that was an account or team that I was building. Geos, of course, and then Rebels. We have to build some Rebels for, reasons. Offensive teams, Imperial Troopers, Bounty Hunters, Boba Fett, Bosk, Jango Fett. Also wanted to build Darth Vader as a solo character and Enfys Nest as a solo character. And then a Jedi team with the typical suspects in an early game Jedi team. So by 9 weeks in, we had level 78. We got the Zeta Challenge unlocked in Fleet. And the Snowtrooper, the game decided I wanted Snowtrooper. Like, I just got all kinds of shards for him every time I went into the Bronzium packs. The gear was easy, so I worked on Snowtrooper as the first relic. And I had to drop the CLS team. Just at that time, I was farming too many different hard nodes, and I couldn't also fit in the stuff for CLS, so I had to drop it. Just an idea of the timeline. 13 weeks in, I was level 84, got my first Zeta on the Geo Brood Alpha, and I hit level 85 on day 95 of playing. 18 weeks, I got my first relic, the Snowtrooper. 27 weeks in, we got Geos qualified for Wat Tambor shards. Week 39, we finished Hound's Tooth. And week 51, right before the 1 year, we got Sith Eternal Emperor requirements met. And the event started. And we got Sith Eternal like a couple days after 1 year. So that was pretty cool. 69 weeks, we hit Erodium. We popped up to Erodium 3. And then week 73, we got Cat. 79, we got JMK. Put him right to R8. 83, week 83 was when it was just after the changes to GAC and all that stuff didn't matter anymore. And I figured out that I just wanted to go to 4 million for hard conquest. And I wasn't that far off. So at week 83, we blew up the account, built a whole bunch of characters and ships we didn't need just to get the galactic power up for hard conquest. We got Profundity on week 114, Executor on week 93. Week 114, we followed that up with Profundity. Week 126 for Jedi Knight Luke, 128 for Gas. 138, we got a crate team done. 146, we got Jabba. And then 155, just a week ago, we got those light speed bundles for the Resistance and First Order. So journey completions, we've got the Executor, Profundity, Luke, Gas, C, JMK, Jabba, almost JML, very close to JML. Should have him next week. The GP, if we look at the GP through the first half a year, we got up to 988, built almost 1 million, about 30,000 a week. Then going through the next year, taking us to a year and a half, we averaged about 35,000 per week. And then in the next half year, we averaged about 57,000. And that was a time when we were building quite a few ships. Ships had a lot of galactic power, so galactic power went up pretty fast. GP climb here from week 81 to 106 was, or 104, 66,000 per month, or per week. 66,000 per week. And then it started to slow down because we had a lot of ships built and we were working mostly just on characters. So for the next 6 months, we averaged 40,000 a week. And then this last 6 months, we've averaged, again, 40,000 per week. I didn't count the 0.85 million, the 850,000 that we got from the Lightspeed bundles. That was sort of artificial inflation. It doesn't count as earned galactic power. Let's take the same stroll through mods. We started out mods at 1 year. We had 4 of them that were 25 plus. Only 4 mods at 25 plus. We had 20 at 20 or better, and a mod score of 4.7, which isn't bad for a 1-year-old account. At 6 months later, week 78, we'd only added 1 more 25 speed mod. We'd added 22 more in the 20 plus range, and the mod score had gone up to 5.8. Week 104, we got 6 more mods on 25 plus, bringing us to 11. 20 plus speed mods, we went up to 59, and the mod score increased to 5.95, and the top 110 increased to 7.2. 6 months ago, we had increased to 20 mods at 25 plus speed and 86 mods over 20. Mod score of 7.1 and a top 110 of 9.28. So pretty good mod progress there. All right, so what do you guys think is going to happen in the last 6 months? How many mods do you think we got in the last 6 months? All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, boom. Talk about crazy. Those 25 plus speed mods ballooned up to 43. We more than doubled it, adding 23 super fast mods. In the 20 plus category, we're up to 133 mods at that speed. We added 47 mods, so almost a third of our mods at that speed have been developed in the last 6 months. Mod score went up to 8.61, and the top 110 went up to a whopping 13.00. So good progress in mods. The introduction of the attenuators, the calibration system changed a lot. So between 1 and 2 years, I focused on 6-dot mods. I was working on a lot of 6-dot mod slicing. Generated more mods, but overall the score didn't go up that much. Between 2 and 2.5 years, I went back to the strategy of playing statistics and looking for a lot of new mods and slicing the best ones. And we got a big chunk added. And then in the last 6 months, between 2.5 and 3 years, application of that calibration system allowed us a much higher conversion of good mods to great mods. So we got a massive jump, more than doubling the 25 plus category, going from 20 to 43. Top 110 mods, that represents your Grand Arena. So 110 characters in Kyber GAC. And so looking at the mod score for my GAC arena stuff, Grand Arena stuff, 13 is a pretty good score for a 3-year-old account. You guys tell me in the chat below, talk about your mod score and tell me how well you've done on your mods. If anybody's got a similar age account, 3 years or so old, I'd love to know what your mod scores are and how you've been doing. If other people are doing better than me, I think that's great. And if not, then maybe y'all have something to aspire to. And everything that I do is documented in my Mod Mastery series. So if you want to know how I achieve this success, it's all in there. And then you can see every week when I do my mods, I go through all of it. And you can see what I click on and how I make them work out. But I do have the problem now. We need to stack up a whole bunch more good mods. We're going to have 3 GLs upcoming soon. JML is almost done. Then we have SLKR and Ray from the Lightspeed packs. So we've got a lot of characters that are going to want even better mods. Zetas up to this point, I've had Zetas where I want them. And still, I mean, to this point, I can say generally I have Zetas on the characters where I want them. But now with the Lightspeed bundles, all the new characters that I got, the Galactic Legends that are going to be rolling into the account, I will be low on Zetas for the foreseeable future. So I have to be pretty selective. And fleet currency for now is 100% reserve, just for focusing on those Zeta materials. All right, so I've been documenting this kind of idea where I don't get too far off of a path, right? So what I've been doing with this account is I'll build a big journey, and during that journey I'll build a few other relic characters that aren't part of the journey. So for example, when I was working on Sith Eternal, I still did Relic, Snowtrooper, Spy, and Nest, even though they weren't part of the journey. Added them to the account for various reasons. When I was doing JMK, I stayed pretty focused on JMK. I did Relic the 5s as well during the JMK cycle. We did Cat, Beskar Mando, and Dark Trooper during the Executor cycle. Of course, you need Beskar Mando for the ship, so that had to be done. Then we did 501st Clones and Wampa in between the Executor and Profundity. And then during the Jabba build, we built a Jedi Knight Luke team and a Fennec team, just to make sure that we could get the best use out of the characters that we were building as part of that Jabba journey anyway. And Fennec continues to do well against Lord Vader in Grand Arena, so that team's been very rewarding to have. In the JML journey, we had to do some stuff for territory battle operations. So we did Kane and Jarrus, BT1, 000, and Ben Solo for the operations on the way to JML. So that kind of gives you guys a feeling of like why there's not a whole lot of Darth Revan and Malak and all these other things in the account. Just because I'm doing a journey for a Galactic Legend, and during that journey I relic some characters, and I really haven't taken a break from those journeys to kind of sit back and fill out some of the other stuff that I could in the account. We'll keep pushing through Galactic Legend Leia, and then we will probably, depending on a lot of things in the game, but that'll be the point where we sit back and start filling in some of the other non-GL teams. So let's think about where the count is today, how satisfied I am. I've given it a rating for these 6-month updates that I've been doing. So let's take a look at the rating and see where we think this account is in terms of satisfaction. So I hit Kyber by 5 million, and I'm still Kyber 4 at 8 million. And there's a very logical explanation for that. I mean, as I'm building the account, other people are building their accounts too. So I'm not necessarily outbuilding everybody fast enough to have progressed up through Kyber. So that's a little bit of a frustration, but yeah, it's okay. I am pushed out of top 5 fleet someday. The Leviathans are in my fleet shard. I still get top 5 most days, but some days I'm boxed out. Hard Conquest, I still get box 5 in Hard Conquest without spending an inordinate amount of time or refreshes in there. So that's good. I feel like I have good participation in territory battle and some non-GL counters for other Galactic Legends and GAC. I'd give myself an overall satisfaction rating of 90 out of 100. Last time I gave it a 95 out of 100. This dropped off a little bit in this last cycle, I think. So I am satisfied with the contributions to TB, TW, Conquest. The mods are solid. It's just that GAC has become increasingly unrewarding, and I've got to try a new strategy over there. And so far, I haven't found the key to making it work. And the thing is, I know I could do better if I scouted my opponents and changed my defenses every time and tailored it to my opponent. I just don't seem to find the time to do that. So I guess if it was really that important to me, I would scout it out and try to do better. One thing I am trying is changing my focus from fleets to characters. For a long time, most people, their accounts were very weak in fleets, and by building some decent fleets, you could always have a good advantage, and you almost rely on your fleets holding up as a defense and rely on also being able to beat your opponent's fleets on offense. And that's really not the case anymore. I'm fighting people that have more fleet than I do. They have all the fleets. So I don't think that's quite the strategic advantage that it used to be. So focusing more on characters, I am trying to build back a better defense and defend against my opponents. For the longest time, I played mostly offense, just put down a couple decent defenses, and then just rest of it was a paper defense. And then I tried to win on offense, which is interesting, but I really do want to be able to have a defense as well. So I put a bunch of stuff on defense, and now I'm struggling with offense again, trying to get the right balance back and see what works. But I do think that focusing more on characters right now may be better for where I'm at in GAC than focusing on ships. Lightspeed bundle impacts, we're going to have to see. It's too early to tell, really. And so let's say everybody at my level that doesn't have SLKR bought that pack. It doesn't mean that I'll get any better in Grand Arena or rise any higher. It just means that all my opponents now will have those Galactic Legends if they didn't before. So we'll see what the impact is, but I think it's going to be a whole lot more treading water. So that's interesting. Loquitur was positioned well for the first group of the Lightspeed bundles. I hadn't worked on First Order or Resistance. I did have the Finalizer fleet already built. So it really, I feel like I was in a good position to go ahead and lock those in and take advantage of them. So what do you all think? That's my trip down history lane. So let me know in the comments below how you feel about this experience, this journey that I've been on, the documenting the account updates every week. Is it helpful for you? And what, for better or worse, have you learned by watching the Loquitur account grow? Always interested to see what you guys have to say. So happy birthday, Loquitur. Happy 3-year-old account. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Please remember, hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Subscribe to the channel, notification bell so you know when I'm doing live streams. And, of course, the link to the Discord is always in the description of the Holocron down below. You can click that. Join our Discord community. We've got a fantastic community. A bunch of cool people over there willing to answer questions. Especially for new players, it's a good place to hang out. Even if you're not very talkative, you can watch what other people are saying, learn a lot about the game. Hope to see you over there. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next Holocron.